Welcome, health coaches. Tonight is our weekly health coach huddle up, and tonight we're actually going to be talking a couple of events that are going to be coming up that I want you guys to know about, and then I want to turn it over to a quiz the coach, where we can talk about some healthy things, some challenges, maybe your own personal journey, or as a coach, maybe something that you're trying to do with somebody else where you're having a challenge. The event that's coming up is we did a couple months ago, I did a Q&A with Dr. A, and David Bush and I partnered up and we put on a webinar, and Dr. A was there, and we just drilled him with questions, Q&A with Dr. A. And it was a really fresh and lively format. People loved it. They were texting in questions. We were answering those. Dr. A had some questions that he was answering. And so it was really popular. We had about 1,200 people that had joined that online. And so we've put together a benefits of health coaching Q&A session with Dan Bell and Brian Drollinger. And I think we're going to have Amber Smithison. So we're going to have 3 health coaches on there, and we're going to do health coaching Q&A. Uncover some of the apprehensions people have for health coaching. Usually it's, I don't have enough time, I haven't lost all my weight yet, or I didn't lose any weight, because obviously this is only a weight loss program, right? Or I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not competent. Those are some of the common things that people have objections or think that reasons why they couldn't health coach. So we're going to answer those. We have some fresh polls where we'll have polls that will come up and people will vote. So this would be a great event. It's on the 26th of April. So that's next Tuesday night. And it's going to be at 6 o'clock. And so for those of you that are on here, we are going to get you to switch your login information. And if you go to my Facebook page, at the top, it actually shows information about the event. And the login number, I'll type it in the chat, but it's 7866 14342. So I'll put it in the chat here, 7866 14312. And so that is the Zoom ID, and you can 7866 14342. Yep. And then you can call in on the phone. You can just go to my Facebook page or go to our Optimal Health Coach page, and you'll be able to find that information. But it starts at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we're slated for 45 minutes worth of kind of presentation and Q&A, and then the last 15, it's going to be nothing but Q&A. We'll be taking questions live from the audience. And so it'll be a great format. If you've got questions yourself, like how did Take Shape for Life, how was it created? Why is it special? Why do we do things the way we do them? Is this an MLM, right? Is this a network marketing company? Is this a coaching company? Some of those kinds of really great questions. And so those things will be answered. All that kind of stuff. So that's going to be super valuable, and I want to encourage you guys to join in, to invite people. This is, I would encourage you, if you have people that are what I call tipping point, so you've talked to them about health coaching and they're just not sure, this would be a great event for them to come to, so that they can get a taste and have some of their unknowns become knowns. Any questions about that specific event? It's going to be a webinar format too, so you won't be able to see you. You'll be muted. There'll be no video and no audio. All you'll be able to do is text. And so that sometimes is helpful to people that are maybe a little more shy. They like to know that there's no way we can see them. but you'll be able to see us. And so that's what's coming up. So it is the Tuesday, April 26th, and at 6 p.m., 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And again, the Zoom ID is 786-614-342. So I want to make sure we get a lot of people there. It's going to be, I think, a really good format. And hopefully people bring some nice, tough questions. So that was the primary event there. The next event coming up is National Convention. That's in Austin, Texas. It's a great event to get to it's a great investment you can make into yourself. And, what's a breakthrough worth, right? Breakthroughs could change your life. And when you go to these types of events, you go to breakthrough rich environments. And if you go to a breakthrough rich environment, you could possibly have a breakthrough that could change your life. And so a national convention is in July, and it's July 20th through the 23rd. And so if you've thought about it, kind of be interesting, but you're not sure, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what the cost would be. Talk about getting you roomed up with 3 other ladies or 3 other men, and splitting the room keeps the costs really low. And it's just a great event. So those are the 2 events that I wanted to talk to you guys about. What kind of questions are out there? What are you struggling with? What's still a mystery? You can go ahead and jump in.
It looked like Lorraine had a question. She was raising her hand. Do you have a
Lorraine?
question?
Nope.
Oh.
Hi, Lorraine.
No, what I was going to ask you about is you were giving out that Zoom ID and you kept saying 342 and you have typed in 312. So I want to clarify that. That's the only question I had.
Greg, you're muted.
All right. Well, I typed it in again, and the second number is the right one. 3866-14342. Yep. Of course, if you go to my Facebook page,
I'd find it right.
Yeah, I'll just show you what that looks like. At the very top of the page, it's got the little advertisement. You know what? If you wanted to, you could click on that, and then you could save that cover photo to your desktop and make that your cover photo. And maybe then somebody would see that and potentially come. With any of these types of things, there's so many things out there that are vying for people's time, and people are afraid that they're too busy because they've already been invited to 5 other things probably for Tuesday night, and they just want to go home and relax. And or they might be afraid if they come, they might get tricked and say yes to something that turns out to be not good, right? We're all skeptical on things like that. And I know that you guys all know that there's no special tricks. I mean, actually, it's not easy to be healthy. So there's no magic here other than when we do this together, it seems to work. So coming to an event like this, or personally inviting somebody to come and just check it out, who knows? I know there's people out there that are not as healthy as they want to be, and they're just not sure what to do about it. And by this may be something that they say, why not me? I have some people I want to help. Maybe the person that's going to be helped is me, right? So I want to encourage you with that. Go ahead, Debbie.
I have a question. I have a potential client. She's somebody that I go to the gym with, and she's a part of the challenge. And we ran into each other at the gym today, and I had already talked to her about, getting together, scheduling. Was somebody biting you?
No, you ran into her. Right.
Oh.
Yeah, just that's a joke. It didn't work out.
Oh, okay. And so, but she started talking, and she goes, I wanted to get her to a wellness evaluation, or just to get her to start setting some goals and schedule. And I had mentioned that to her about that we need to schedule a meeting and find out when a good time is for her. and today she was like, oh, well, are you going to be here tomorrow? And she said, but I'm hearing all this about this 5-in-1. And she goes, what is that? And I said, well, that's the weight loss component of the healthy habits. But what I went into was, but first I really want her to set some goals, you know,
right.
I think what we really, where we want to start,
yeah.
You know, because you can, you know, I used what Becca had said about saying, you know, it's up to you on what you want to accomplish, but
you never give the how before you know the why.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't want to start talking about that yet.
Yeah. Well, let me help you with that.
Found out where she's at.
Right. And so you've got the mechanics right. It's just, I think, the perspective, the overview of what we're doing here. So I'm going to try to help you with this. Okay. She's wanting to get to, because she said, I've been hearing a lot about the 5-in-1.
On the challenge, yes.
Yep. And so we're assuming that she qualifies for the 5-in-1. Do we have other programs besides the 5-in-1 if you're a type 1 diabetic? What if you're allergic to soy or dairy? Can you do the 5-in-1? So I'm doing this because you probably think all we have is one program, and it's the 5-in-1. It's not.
Okay.
We've got many programs. We've got a teen program. We've got a nursing mothers program. All that. She's probably not going to be on either of those. By looking at her, you can tell if she's pregnant or not. You could probably look at her and tell if she's a teen or not, right?
But she is a type 1 diabetic.
She is, right? So the 5-in-1, you're going to have to be careful with the 5. So the reason why you want to ask her more questions, because you want to make sure that you get her into the right program.
Okay.
It's not you're trying to trick her into doing anything, and it's not like you're trying to keep information. I'm not trying to hide the 5-in-1 until I know this. The reason why you have to know it is to see if the 5-in-1 is even a possibility.
Okay.
And so what I would say in that situation is, yeah, the 5-in-1 is one of the programs. It's actually the most popular program, but just because it's the most popular doesn't mean it will work for you. So I need to know more about you, exactly what you want, and then why that's important. And then we'll figure out what the best program or the how to go get it.
Okay.
And I think she'll go, oh, makes complete sense. Yeah, I want to lose weight. Why? Because I have a wedding coming up. Okay. And so when's the wedding? Great. How much weight? Great. Okay. And then tell me more about how that's going to make you feel, or why it's important to fit into that dress at the wedding. And you kind of do a little digging there. Great. Okay. What else? You know? Okay. Or you can, so that's just to be kind of very specific. Or you can say, hey, you know what? I've done this a number of times, and we actually have a form that you can fill out that'll give us a big picture landscape about how to really keep your weight off and really where you're at in overall health. Why don't you fill that out, and then that can be used as an interview. You know, we'll kind of interview you through that, and we'll figure out just the weight loss.
Which is what I said. Is I have a form I'm going to send you that'll help you start thinking about what your goals are.
Yep. And when you say I have a form, that to me feels like work.
I don't know if I said form.
Yeah. But I'm just letting you know how that word felt to me.
Okay.
How do you think you can talk about it like it's life-giving and like it's going to be totally insightful? I don't know an answer to this, so I'm just asking the question.
Right.
If you were to talk about this to me, how could you talk about it in a way that would be like, oh man, that sounds exciting. I can't wait to fill that out. How would you say that? What would you call it?
What would I call it if I wanted it not to be like a form, to make it sound like it's something that's really going to be something that you're going to look forward to, you know, is maybe say that it's the way I started is I set some goals. I
had to figure out my current reality, where I was today.
That's good. Because, you know, my fear is that she wants to jump right into the weight loss.
Everybody does.
And yeah.
When you go to Disneyland, you just want to be at Disneyland. Right? When you decide to go to Disneyland, I just want to be there. I don't want to have to drive there. I want to be there.
Right.
Well, join the club, but you can't.
Right. But, you know, it's just, it's like kind of what, whoa, slow down.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause she wants it to just tell me about what this, I need to read up on it, is what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I need to read up on it. And I'm thinking, I didn't even go there. I just like, ignored that whole comment.
Sure.
But she was also like running to the shower as she's talking to me.
Yes, she was busy.
And
so when you're busy and things like that, literally, I would just say, well, I want to make sure that I get you into the program that's going to work best for you, but I don't know enough about what you want and kind of a little bit of some of the like allergies and some of the, if you're taking any medication. So I want to make sure that we help you and not hurt you. So I can sort of just ask you one-off questions, but hey, I've got an even better idea. I've got a sort of a health questionnaire, and it asks you where you're at.
That's good.
Where you're at on a scale of 1 to 10 in like 6 different categories. It takes about 5 minutes to fill out, and then we'll use that as sort of a talking points to figure out where you currently are and what you want to get better. It's a lot of fun. I even did it.
Right.
So you kind of give her some perspective as to why you want to do this, because it gives us current reality and it tells us what's not good enough. So any, Jim, do you have any comments as we're talking through this? What's going through your mind? Oh, yep.
Just listening.
Just listening?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know, when she was talking about, do you have any comments about like when you're talking to somebody and you're trying to get them to give you more information so you can give them what they want, and sort of how that dialogue goes?
Well, I think the more questions you're able to ask, but you have to ask questions that are relevant to them.
Yes.
Not relevant to me.
Yeah. Good point. Give me an example of that. What would be something that you could think of that would be a relevant question to them?
Well, for somebody who is younger than I am, and that is, you know, has young kids, and so therefore I'm trying to find out what it is that they like to do. Do they like to hike? Do they play softball? Do they like to swim? And then find out reasons why they're not doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
Try to help them see if they're able to go do those things, and how we can help them get back to doing things that they like to do.
Yeah, great.
Now, this woman is extremely active, and she's been trying to lose the weight through exercising. And
so, Debbie, let me just talk to you about that. So you be her, and I'm going to be you.
Okay.
Be me, but you can be her. Okay. So Debbie, you seem to be in here all the time, and you're more active than most people I know. But you said you still are having a hard time losing weight. Tell me a little bit more about that.
My problem is that I'm just eating too much. I just really have to watch what I'm eating. I know what my problem is. The problem is that I just eat too much. I've got to stop.
Yeah. Well, and so how long have you been struggling with this?
Oh, for a while. It's been at least, it's been years.
Years, okay.
I'm to the point where I'm type 1 diabetic.
Yep. So type 1 diabetic means that you were born not producing insulin, and so you've been that way most of your life, if not all of your life. And so, but I noticed that you work out a lot. Now tell me about why you work out so much.
I'm trying to lose the weight.
Okay.
But for some reason I don't seem to be able to lose it, especially around my waist.
Yeah. So that was my next question, is what you want and what you're getting are different.
No, and I've tried to dial it down. I've been really I was cardio, and I'm trying to figure out that I need to do more of a fat burning. And so I'm dialed that down. But I have a boyfriend that loves to cook, that is also overweight, that just cooks way too much food for us.
Yeah.
And I just need to stop eating so much.
Well, I've got a couple of ideas here. First of all, is if what you're trying to do is lose weight, and you are a type 1 diabetic, and you're exercising a lot, and it's not changing anything, it may be that what you're doing is not the right tool to get you what you want. Here's an example. Imagine if you're trying to dig a hole and someone hands you a ladder. You're like, I guess you could probably dig a hole with a ladder, but if you had a shovel, oh my goodness, would that be more effective? Right? And so here's what we're going to do. What I've learned over the past couple of years, because I used to be a lot like you, and I'm trying to figure this out too. What I've learned is that exercise is actually not very good. I've learned what you just told me, too. Exercise just doesn't seem to cut it for weight loss. So there's something else going on. And what I found is actually it's all about our blood sugar. And so here's what I'm wondering. What if we were to sit down, go through a bit of an interview? You can I need to know much more about what you're trying to do. And maybe some of the things that I'm doing would work for you too. They seem to be working for me. Maybe we can do this together. What do you think about that?
Well, that's great, because I saw this thing on the challenge that you invited me to, and it's the 5-in-1.
Yep.
And did you do it?
I have done the 5-in-1, and it works for most people, but not everybody. And so that's why it's going to be really important for us to get together and let's talk through some of your goals and some of your needs, and then some of your medical, history. And if the 5-in-1 works for you, oh my goodness, it's amazing. And basically, just in a nutshell, the 5-in-1, if you add 5 + 1, it's 6. So we teach you how to eat 6 times a day, and it's what we eat during those times. But let's get more into that later. I'm going to send you an email that has the form in it. Fill that out. It takes 5 minutes. And then we'll spend, 20 to 30 minutes going through, all of the things that you want and how we can, help you get those. Does that sound good?
Yes, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Yep. So I gave her a little bit of stuff. You see how I kind of gave you a little bit of information there, but ultimately I wasn't trying to trick you into doing this form so I could trick you into getting on this program. The form or the application or the interview or the whatever you want to call it, the assessment was just a formality to be able to get to the right questions that matter.
Okay.
You're right. And so you didn't feel like it was a burden. You thought it was probably going to be helpful, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, if somebody truly is ready to change, and I think she's, I feel like that she's getting there because she's showing some frustration with the situation at home with her. And I believe that he may be a potential client too.
Yeah.
But
both of them.
bottom line is, I did the 5-in-1, and yes, it was great. And the results are, you see the results.
Yeah.
But I thank you. Everything that it's just a matter of, I like the idea of the questionnaire.
Mm-hmm. And here's what I'm going to do. Because she's on my team in the challenge, I'm going to send out an email to everybody, and I'm going to say, it's time for your first strategy session. And so I'll interview everybody and basically say how much you want to lose, what's your strategy, what are you going to do? And if they're like, well, sure, I'd love to know about some other tools, some power tools that really seem to accelerate people's success, then I'll schedule a well-being interview, and then I'll invite you to come along.
Now, would it be okay for me, because I'm still learning, and the fact that she is a type 1 diabetic, well, I believe that's what she had mentioned. I kind of heard her say it to me in a conversation. I know that she's a diabetic. I don't know which type, though, for sure.
It's very different.
Yes.
Type 2 is most cases reversible because they just have a resistance to insulin, and so it's not powerful enough in their body because of their weight to be able to take insulin. Do you know what insulin does? I have a really simple way to explain it.
But it basically regulates, I thought diabetes was the fact that you're, I don't even really know what the organ is, but something doesn't work.
Yeah.
Where your
pancreas. Yep.
Okay.
Your pancreas produces insulin. And insulin, what happens is when you eat food, especially foods that are high glycemic or carbohydrates, they put sugar into your blood. Your body can't have too much sugar or too little sugar, or it'll mess with your brain.
Okay.
Too little sugar, and you'll actually go into a coma. too much sugar, it's hypoglycemia. It's hyperglycemia. It's not good. So your body regulates your blood sugar with insulin. If it's too much, it secretes insulin, and insulin is a door. It takes the sugar from your blood and it opens the door and pushes it into your cells.
Okay.
Right? And so if your blood sugar is low, you don't want to give your body insulin. You want to give your body sugar. If your blood sugar is high, you want to give it insulin. So you want to keep your blood sugar in a consistent, constant state. You don't want it to spike and dip.
And that's because the pancreas can't do its job. It's can't
not releasing enough insulin to deal with the amount of carbohydrates.
The fluctuation in what you eat. Okay.
So that's type 2. And that usually happens over time where your pancreas gets worn out, or because you have so much fat on your body, it's not effective enough. Type 1 is as if you don't have a pancreas.
Oh, okay.
It either doesn't work or you don't have one. So
okay.
you do not produce insulin. So you have to take insulin by injection because you have to keep your blood sugar from going too high or too low. So insulin removes blood sugar from your blood and puts it into your cells to be utilized. So so diabetic type 1 is very different than type 2.
Okay.
And most of my clients that are type 2 reverse their insulin, reverse their diabetes. See you, Jim. So
I am leaving, but I did reverse mine, so I'm off.
Oh, that's what you're waiting for. Yeah, way to go. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Awesome.
But I am.
That was through weight loss?
Yeah. He lost 80 pounds.
Yeah, through weight loss. What happens is your cells become non-resistant, so therefore it just builds up in your blood, the sugar. And there's two things that cause that: non-exercise and weight. So two things, if you got to get your diet under control, and then you start losing weight, and all of a sudden the extra will allow your cells to start accepting the sugar again. So fatty tissue gets around the cell, and so it can't penetrate the cell. The only way to get is to break the fat down. And once you broke it down enough, then your cells will start accepting the sugar again.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great to know.
Yeah, I have so many former diabetics that are my clients, and they literally, as you lose the weight, your body is more efficient and is not resistant, and so the amount that your pancreas does work, if you're type 2, you can lower your insulin because your body's doing more of its own work. Right. Many people are no longer diabetic. Now, it's not because of our program, it's because of the weight loss.
Right, right.
We can't legally say our program reverses diabetes. We can say that people reduce their diabetes when they lose weight. And then with the next sentence, our 5-in-1 is killer at losing weight. Right? But we can't connect the two without the middle. So we can help you lose weight, and losing weight helps your body to be less insulin resistant. Mm-hmm. You make the conclusion.
Okay, well, just so I know that it's getting late, and so but I have scheduled a meeting with Alex. I don't know if he's still on or not, but on Thursday, just for him and I to do this role playing that we talked about last week, and maybe, who knows, it might end up being an evaluation with this one.
Great.
And so just FYI, just throwing it out there.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, I hope this was helpful too, because you have to you have the mechanics there. You know that you need to figure out what they want before you can tell them what to do. Right. It's just a matter of kind of the choreography of the conversation. And when you understand why you need that first, it won't be weird anymore.
Right.
You're like, well, I can't even tell you. So Debbie, you sell cars. I come into your car lot and I say, I want to buy a car.
I'm going to ask you what kind of car you want. What do you want in the car?
I just want a car.
Well, you're going to have to tell me.
How much does it cost? Tell me how much it's going to cost.
Do you want air conditioning?
Yeah. How many doors? How many people in your family?
Right.
You want a 2-seater or you're going to say, do I have a family? No. Well, now all of a sudden I can go any car, 2-seater. I'm probably not going to want a minivan. If I said I have a family of 5, 6, you're being like, oh man, that 2-seater sport model is out.
Right.
Right. So when I come to you and say, how much does it cost? I want to buy a car. How much does it cost? I want to lose weight. How much does your program cost? Well,
it all depends on how much you want to accomplish.
Yep. It depends on it depends on a lot of things. I need to ask a bunch more questions because we're not going to be playing around with your health. And so in order to, I'm going to need to walk through that when you have some time to do an interview so we can go over a little bit of your health history, a little bit of what you want, why that's important to you. It's going to take about 30 minutes. So you can see, now you're going to see why you need that. And so now it'll be like, yeah, I definitely can help you. Yeah, I get it, but I need more information.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Super good. Yeah, this has been great. I love these sort of kind of more in-depth kind of trainings where we actually get to talk through it because you sort of can see, oh, that's why.
Well, that's kind of where I need help too, is in the flow of things and having doing the flow. Because I'm feeling more confident about myself. I'm feeling more about talking to people about their health. And I know it'll just kind of come. I'm just putting myself out there and I just, I'm just hoping that.
Well, it'll happen because there's no question in my mind, and this is something you have to resolve. It's only a matter of time before you build the vocabulary to have the conversation.
Right.
Because it's not because there's not people out there that want this. If you think that's true, you're delusional.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Right?
No, exactly.
It's just health is a secret to most people, and you have the key, you have the decoder ring, and now it's a matter of being able to let them know you've got it was a secret, and you've got the decoder ring, and you'll share it with them.
I like that idea of a decoder because really that's really what it is to try and maneuver around their insecurities about talking about health and
what's keeping them from getting what they want.
Right. Or just in general, just even talking about it to somebody that they don't, a coworker or something like that. It's just, they're kind of
get to know them. I mean, you know them enough to ask them a couple questions.
Well, I have a couple of people that backed out, and I walked up to one woman today. I noticed she just kind of like checked me out. She was just like checking me out. She's like, well, where are you coming from? I'm going to the gym. She is somebody that I think kind of thought maybe I was just going to drop off the face of the earth because she said no, we're still going out to lunch. We're still doing everything. I'm still here. Yeah.
And I'm going to keep working on this because health is not something that you get. Health is something you do. And so practice.
Right.
Yeah.
So good great. Job, Thank you so much.
You're growing so much. It's really encouraging. Keep it up.
Oh, well, that's encouraging to hear because it's
just the conversations. I don't know. You may not realize it, but we covered a lot of ground today.
Oh, good.
You can tell. I can tell in your voice that you're getting it. Like you have a new level of confidence.
And seriously, it's like you said, I'm learning that, just to have the dialogue and to say the decoder. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Well, and when you understand the sequence and someone asks something out of sequence, it'll just be like, we can't go there. And here's why. And they'll go, oh yeah, we can't go there.
Right. Exactly. I want to hold you back from doing what you want to do, but we just got to make sure we do it right. And I like what you said about we're not playing with your health. This is not, or how I don't think you worded it that way, but this is your health. We're talking about it. This is
not just a diet, just a fad diet thing. This actually will change your metabolic energy systems into converting your fat into fuel. And it's fairly technical. We make it really simple, but it's fairly technical, and we want to make sure we do it right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right. Exactly.
Awesome. All right. Great. Have a great rest of the evening.
Okay, you too. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.